Hi there and welcome to another Midweek Memo. What would you choose? Would you choose Cadbury's Heroes sharing good times, or would you choose Cadbury's Heroes sharing good times? We are confronted in life by so many choices, and often the choices on the outside present as, frankly, the same, or at least very similar. But some choices end up in all sorts of wonderful goodness. This one particularly has many dinky deckers, which, by the way, is the very best chocolate that is in this particular box. And other choices present as fundamentally empty and disappointing. It's fascinating how, when we get to the end of the book of Deuteronomy, although Moses has spent a lot of time explaining exactly what is required of the Israelites, he's still repeating to them, look, you have a choice to make and you better choose well. This day I call heaven and earth as witnesses against you that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose life so that you and your children may live and that you may love the Lord your God, listen to his voice and hold fast to him. For the Lord your God is your life. I think it's such a fascinating conclusion to the book of Deuteronomy. The book of Deuteronomy, of course, contains the Ten Commandments, and we often think of it as a place where there's lots of do-nots, lots of things that you should avoid. And as a result, we often conceive of the kind of life that Moses was talking about as one that involves avoiding bad things and therefore avoiding God's judgment. But actually, as we get to the end, we realize it's a much bigger picture than that. The life of faith is a whole set of values and experiences that we need to choose. There is death and destruction, that is the judgment of God that will come on those who disobey him, as Moses predicts. But it's much more than that. They face a life without the Lord, who is their life, who is the very definition of everything that is rich and flourishing about their existence. And instead, Moses says, choose life. That is, don't just choose to survive, like that God will give you favor and that even he will feed you and give you harvests that are plentiful, but a whole way of life that is full of flourishing, that is good in every respect. And actually, that call to choose life is the same call that comes to us as Christians today. Every day, we have a great number of different choices, and the important ones are not about which chocolates we eat, even though Dinky Deckers are very good. They are about those moments where we choose God's way or our own. And we are faced in the small and in the large moments again and again when we can choose life or choose destruction, choose Jesus or choose emptiness. So whatever is confronting you today, in the small and in the large, let me encourage you, pray to the Lord and work out what does it mean to choose life today. A few notices to share with you. The first is about this Sunday morning, our 10 a.m. service. We'd love to welcome you there as ever. We're going to do something slightly different. It's going to be a prayer and worship style event. We've done these in the evenings before. Basically, the format is quite similar to what we would usually do, but we've just got a couple of extra interactive elements, and particularly I want to encourage you to come along with your own testimony. How has the Lord been faithful in your life? Come along, have a bit of a think, and come along prepared to share that with someone else. It's going to be a great morning as we wrap up this series in Deuteronomy and think about what the Lord has taught us through it. The second thing to share with you is that we are making a change in the timing of our evening service. We love our evening service. It's a great time of worship and prayer and learning. And there's a great vibe there, great atmosphere. We love the hospitality, the community that's building around it. We want to pull that half an hour further forward. So from 6:30 now going to be starting at 6 p.m. This is going to enable us to just have a little bit more time afterwards for fellowship and for people to get home and get ready for work the next day. That's particularly pressing, I think, because we have so enjoyed adding a number of young people to that service. And we want to make it accessible to them even as they go off and get things ready for school and family for the next week. So don't miss that. 2nd of November, we are starting our evening service at 6 p.m. This is a trial period. We're going to run it up until the end of February half term. During that time, we would love to hear from you what your reflections are. Do you like it? Would you like to see it change in some kind of way? Are there ways that we can make it work better? Whatever you feel, let us know. The third thing and final thing to let you know about is that we've got some flyers in church outlining our Christmas events and an invite to our Christmas Day lunch. We'd love you to pick one of those up. It's a great listing of the things that are going on at Christmas. And in particular, we'd love you to think about sharing that invite with one of your neighbours or friends who might benefit from that lunch on Christmas Day. Thanks for joining us.